All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me. Today is Wednesday, November 10th, 2021. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, click on that white logo, turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Like our videos, appreciate that. Comment your questions, and of course, subscribe to our channel here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys with all your support. Again, really want this channel to grow. So again, you're a big part of that. You're the audience, so you're in control. So let's go ahead and talk about the market this morning, and then talk about and answer some of your questions. Let's see how much followers we have, just real quick. Let's see. I just want to see exactly how many followers that we have currently. We have 8,083 followers and 30,000 hours of watch time. Wow, insane. Very cool. Again, thank you so much. I am extremely humbled that you guys are even watching me every 9 a.m. to listen to anything I have to say. I know you have so many other choices out there to watch on YouTube, so many other services to join or read about, but I hope that here at G.A.R Capital, we provide the service, the transparency, the honesty, the integrity that you guys really deserve, especially when it comes to the stock market. I know there's a lot of scammers out there, but we try to be, in a sense, a bubble of purity to show you around what's going on. All right, with that being said, enough to chatter. Let's talk about it. Dow futures down 69 points this morning. NASDAQ down 0.66. S&P futures down 0.36. Russell down 0.35. Crude oil is at 84.31, up 0.19%. Gold is interesting, up 1.38%. Finally, again, still above that 1800 level. Maybe we could start looking at going long there. Silver futures 24.76, up 1.86%. Dollar yen 0.47%, 113.40. Ethereum futures are up 48.46. Bitcoin, huge spike. Let me show you. Huge spike right here as we're about to test all-time highs on Bitcoin. Looks like 70,000 by the end of the week. Anybody? That would be a great birthday present for me, as my birthday is on Saturday. But that's where we are currently. 68,243 on the spot. 68,580 this morning. 10-year yields are up 3%, 1.476. The dollar is up a quarter point, 94.19, and the VIX is up 3.43%. The big news this morning was CPI. Let's talk about inflation. So again, PPI did meet expectations and was better than expected year over year. The consumer price index, different story, 0.9% month over month versus a 0.6 estimate. 0.4% was last month. Year over year, up 6.2%. versus 5.9% estimate, 5.4% the prior month. Core CPI, you strip away energy and food, up 4.6% versus 4.3% annually. It was up 4% prior month. The annual growth is now highest since the early 90s. Now again, I'm going to have a podcast coming this week. So I'm going to talk about why I'm still bullish, part 3. We did 2 parts last time. We did it back in April of 2020, and I believe again in August of 2020. Were we right? Yeah, we hit all-time highs. So I know you guys love the pod. The only thing with the podcast is I really kind of run out of ideas to talk about. I know it's kind of a pain since I do this every morning, and then we're going to have an aftermarket recap. So you're going to get 2 shows a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So I know a lot of people miss it. So that'll be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be starting that pretty soon. I'm looking towards December to do it. Just have a lot of stuff going on right now. Nothing bad, but again, just birthday stuff for me. And then I have a meeting with my team next week in person. So again, a lot of stuff just going on. So it's a little difficult to do it at this go around. But again, we will have morning note and aftermarket recap. And the podcast this week will be why I'm still bullish, part 3. And I'm going to go over everything with you guys in terms of data, in terms of inflation data, in terms of the Fed, in terms of macroeconomics, stocks, and what have you, and what I'm expecting moving forward. But there's the decline in futures is due to the inflation build. Again, Bitcoin is up. Mara just reported earnings. You can see it here. Mara reports 85 cents versus 48 cents. Earnings, 51.7 million versus 75.1 million in revenue. So it missed. But self-mined Bitcoins, 1,252, 91% growth year over year in terms of how many they have mined. So a lot of good stuff on the CPI. Again, the CPI missed. That's why we're down. Upstart is down 27%. Upstart's red hot rally may be cooling as stock sinks 20% despite earnings beat. That might be an opportunity for everybody. So let's go ahead to the heat map and what's moving, what's shaking. Let's look at it. Nvidia finally taking a little bit of a breather, down about 4%. AMD down 3%. Tesla down 1.86%. Looks like we're starting to near that 1,000. That could be starting looking at your buy range there if you wanted to. mRNA, big loser here, down 3.5%. XOM Energy down 1.46%. Nike down 1%. MasterCard is up 1.55%. Pretty much a bright spot. General Electric is up. PepsiCo is up. That's really the only green I see. Tech is down. Google's down 1%. Facebook's down, or Metaverse. Apple's down. We had NEO yesterday. Remember, that was a freebie. We got out of it, minus 40%. That was a decision that we made as a team. But again, guys, when it comes to freebies and it comes to signals to you guys, we have to be very, very respectful and understanding that we're not the only ones that are in this trade. Everyone else is in it. So yes, did it not work? Unfortunately, this time it did not. And it sucks to actually take an L, especially publicly. Again, if I lose money personally, I won't lose sleep over it. But when it comes to our members and our viewers, that definitely hits home. And I don't like that. So again, we need to make that up. So that's something we're going to do. I'm going to do another freebie when I see a really great opportunity so you guys can profit. I'm not going to leave you guys hanging with just a minus 40% loss. Again, I held NEO personally, a couple of contracts. So again, you can see even after earnings, it's down about 60 cents pre-market. The premiums are going to get nuked. So more than likely, those contracts will probably be worthless for the most part. But again, I'm glad that we got out. That's a really good lesson to everybody that, you know what, when it comes to risk, don't mess around. Just close it and move on with your day and then see the next opportunity. It's very, very important that everyone learns that. I'm kind of glad that we did that publicly. So you could see that, you know what, sometimes the options market and the stock market is not easy to navigate, that you can get it wrong. But the question is, when you find out it's wrong and it's not working, get rid of it and move on. That's it. Think of it as a bad relationship, a very abusive relationship. You just want to cut it off. If that person cheats on you or something, you don't want to work it out. You just want to be done. Think of it that way. If you think of it that way, life will be a lot easier when it comes to trading. Well, there we go. So again, we had the CPI number that came out. We can see that gold is starting to move. Let's go ahead and take a look at GLD this morning. Again, big spike. You're going to see 173.23. Again, starting to get close. Well, we broke above this level. So again, maybe target gold here, 175.51. Keep an eye on that. I like gold here. Again, breaking out of this range. Let's go ahead and zoom out. Go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Right around 173. Right now in the bid, 173.23. Let's say we're right here. There is a gap to fill right at 175.48. So again, let's keep an eye on it. But I would buy some time. Maybe start looking for end of November contracts, end of December contracts. Look where the volume is. But again, very, very interesting that we're starting to break out of this range. So GLD should be on your watch list this morning. GLD, put gap to fill on daily, which is right around 175.45. I'm writing it down with you guys. I'll tweet it just in case you guys have any questions, and I'll send out a screenshot here. Actually, let me go ahead and screenshot this. I can screenshot it real quick. I'm going to place the alert. Good old Mac. So I can go ahead and just do this. And this is how I do most of my screenshots, guys. Mac style. And then I just airdrop it to my phone. Make life easy. And then that's me, Carlos Garcia. And just go to done, and you're good. So I will tweet that this morning. All right, with that being said, this market, I don't think the bull market is over. I think this is pretty much a healthy pullback for the most part. Not really much. I would say right now we're right around, what are we, 46.62, 40 points off the highs. Not exactly a huge dip. So again, I think that any pullbacks in terms of a decent pullback is an opportunity to start reloading on some names that you want. Tesla below 1,000, maybe. I'm not loving that. I would rather have a little more before adding to it. But again, it's run up so much. Nvidia, for example, again, great company. Would I buy the dip here? It's not enough of a dip. I would wait right around 268 on Nvidia to possibly reload. But again, there is opportunities out there moving forward. Okay, good morning. I know I have a lot of questions. Go have my glasses. Sorry, guys. I'm blind. Good morning. Morning, Anthony. Alvin's asking, morning, Price that on Tesla. Thanks for doing this every day. You're welcome. Let's go ahead and expand this chart to answer your questions on Tesla. Tesla, I had an alert at 1,000, but I think 900, I'm going to move that. I think 900 will be a better opportunity. I believe so. So not 1,000, I think 900. We could retrace that breakout level. That's just completely fine. So 900 would be a really good, decent level. Think about that. 900 from 1250, that's a really nice breakdown. But 1,000, I'm not going to go ahead and get pissed off if you want to get in. That's fine, but I think 900 is a juicy level. Good morning, Carlos. Would you please analyze DDD? What do you think of the price here on the chart? Maybe a rebound. Triple D. Let's see it. 3D systems. Looks like we're just retracing here on the hourly. I think the daily will give us a little more of a bigger picture. Right now, it's in Palantir land. What is Palantir land? Range bound. So again, we need to get above 35 before you do anything in Triple D in terms of calls. But if you want to start buying some, I think 25 isn't bad. I think maybe 24, 25 is the level you're looking for. What are the chances these neo calls can still print? There is no chance. You already had your earnings. That's why we got out of it. I mean, the only thing that we can hope for, and I don't like to use the word hope, is that if you get above 42.99. Now, could that possibly happen? Yeah, of course, it could possibly happen. But was it worth risking the capital for you guys not to tell you to close? Absolutely not. I think we did the right thing. QQQ by the end of the week. Let's take a look at it. Again, a little bit of a pullback, but again, we're starting to test the 200-day. More than likely, we could bounce here. So again, if we start breaking down on the 200, we should get to around 390. So again, maybe take a look at some puts really quick, same-day puts for 390s if we can break down below the 200. But my expectation is that we do bounce a little bit here, possibly get to around 394, 395 by tomorrow, if anything. So again, the 200-day seems to be that support currently. Year-over-year inflation was only 0.3 more than expected. Market overreacting. Well, at the end of the day, PPI was better than expected, but CPI, again, is still hot. Inflation, again, we had a good reading last month. We had not so great reading this month. Now we go on to the next month and the next month, and we do it all over again. Welcome to trading. But I do believe that, and I'll talk about this on the podcast, that inflation, yes, I know, is going to be transitory. That's my opinion on it, and I expect that to happen. So again, I'll go into more detail on the podcast in terms of inflation stuff and the market reaction in regards to it. Thoughts on, I also had 37 calls on football expiring this week. It's probably dead. Yes, more than likely it's probably dead. I've had a lot of people asking about doing earnings lottos or contract. It's difficult to do, so just be very careful. It's really a heads or tails. And I like football TV. I own football TV. I like the conference call. It was actually very strong. But again, I need $24 in order to buy some more. And I am bullish on it. But again, I want the right price. Thoughts on Fiverr. Fiverr has been absolutely doing well. The last time I've checked, it bounced off earnings. And you could see here, and I don't look at this stock very often, but we're starting to we hit that support here right around 160 to 155. So again, 184 now we're above the 50-day on the daily. There is a gap to fill right here, right on 225. So possibly we can get up there, but it'd have to be a swing. If you wanted to buy Fiverr, now's the time to do it. Absolutely. Inflation is rising, meaning there will be interest rate in the near future. Why the hell Bitcoin rising in this circumstance? Should have planned by now. Because Bitcoin is based on one thing. It's demand, guys. Demand. If people want to buy it, and there's more buyers than sellers, prices are going to go up. That is still the king. Price action is the king. We're about to get to $69,000 on Bitcoin, as you could see. And are we there yet? 69,000 Bitcoin. Let's tweet it out. Let's go ahead and tweet it out to everybody. Again, we've been saying it before, but we'll say it again. We are bullish on Bitcoin. We expect $100,000 by the end of the year. Tesla back to the mid-900s by end of week and continuation to $200 for Upstart. Coin for next week. Upstart. Okay, there's a lot of questions today, so I'm trying to answer them as quick as I can. Some of you guys have 3 questions in one. Upstart is down. I think below 261 is not a bad idea to buy some here. Again, it has been soaring. If you're looking just for the breakout point, $200 would be your target. Tesla by mid-900s. Yeah, I mean, it could, but I wouldn't trade calls on it or puts on it right now. And coin for next week. I think coin is fine, and we should get a little bit of a bounce as Bitcoin is rising. So again, I do own the stock, and I expect it to rise with Bitcoin itself. As you can see, it is already doing that. Do you think there will be a market sell-off prior to CPI data? If this is a market sell-off, it's a pretty weak one, so not really. These companies are jumping in 20% after earnings. Roblox, Upstart, Peloton, trades. Yep, a lot of volatility. Thoughts on GME? Is it even going lower? What's your target? I don't have GME calls right now, so again, it's really difficult to say on the hourly because it's such a volatile name. Football calls, no, I would not do football calls. Why are energy down? Why do you think financials are starting to move? Financials are moving up because your TNX, 10-year yields, and energy's down because crude is down. Pretty easy. Apple this week, I have calls on Apple. Apple's kind of just ranging, sideways, pain in the ass, hate that. But again, with a break of 152.50, if we can get it, then Apple should move. Main break on ES for puts. Main break on ES for puts would be 46.42. If it breaks that 200-day, then we would target 46.15 or 4600. I'm sure you dropped the info in the podcast already, but you can tell us how to get to it again. We do have it on Anchor app, Spotify, Apple Music. Just search G.A.R Capital Podcast on Spotify, Apple, and Anchor app, and we're right there for you guys. ETH, all-time highs. Yes, all-time highs, ETH. XOM calls. Let's take a look at XOM calls. Again, I am bullish oil. They look like it will have a gap to fill at 66. We will bounce off this 100-day, if not this 200-day, on XOM with oil going up. Oil industry, I expect $100 a barrel in oil sooner rather than later. Morning, Carlos. Any thoughts on puts for today on AMD Inspire? Are we thinking bounce? Well, we need to see how the market is going to move. That's really the key. AMD, it could definitely hit 137.99. But the question is, how does this react? Again, pre-market doesn't tell us everything. It's just the movie trailer. That's really it. Again, the movie trailer doesn't tell you if the movies are good or not. It just kind of gives you the highlights of it. So I think it's not as simple as I think we're going to go down. I just think a lot of it here is a lot of moving parts. Let's see what we get. But AMD is definitely at a point where it needs a little bit of a breather. When you draw an upper trend line, the GC and the daily, looks like top of a range. That's going to be our last question here. I know it's a lot. Look at gold go. Really on the daily, for the most part, we had a downward trend, broke out of it, came back in it. But you can see as we get out of it, and I can go ahead and go to the weekly, you can see this, we're starting to move now. So again, 1893, 1900 seems to be a very nice target. If that does break, then it gets really interesting. But again, 1893 is a very heavy resistance. So we'll leave it there, guys. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. GARCapitalFX.com is the website. I'm going to go out to breakfast with the wife since my birthday is this Saturday. So she's taking me out for breakfast now because I'm hungry. So we'll leave it at that. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for the morning note. Cheers.